From networking to learning new tools, skills, frameworks, etc., conferences are one of the best ways to level up as a developer and specifically a JavaScript developer. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 10 conferences that you should look forward to as a JavaScript developer in 2023. What's up, everyone? My name is James Q. Quick, and I do weekly videos about web development related topics. And I am a frequent conference goer. I speak at conferences, I attend conferences, and they have been, I think, one of the hacks for me in my career of kind of taking next steps in terms of networking and learning and that sort of stuff. Conferences are full of amazing people, amazing speakers, amazing attendees, representatives of companies that are hiring, great talks on an array of different topics, etc. So anyway, I'm going to walk you through 10 conferences, some of which I've been to in the past, some of which I haven't. And this is by no means an exhaustive list, just kind of 10 conferences that came to mind for me that I think you should know about and consider for 2023. Now, a couple of these are coming up maybe too quickly, but they're names that you could look for next year as well if you don't catch them this year. So anyway, number one up is CodeMash. Now, this one is actually coming up really quickly, January 10th through the 13th, and it's in Sandusky, Ohio in the US. I've heard about this conference for years now, going back to like 2013, and I've always heard nothing but really good things. So I think this one would be a ton of fun. It's also takes place at a Kalahari resort. We'll actually talk more about Kalahari in a minute, but that means it's got an all indoor arcade, water park, and other stuff that's perfect for kids. So you should definitely check out CodeMash. Next up is actually another conference that is, no pun intended, that is hosted at a Kalahari. Now this is the That Conference series. And I've been to that conference in Wisconsin twice. So there's actually one coming up in Texas in January and one coming up in Wisconsin in the summer in July. So I will actually be giving a keynote talk at the one in Austin on January 17th is when I'll be giving my talk. We'll also be doing live episodes of the Compressed FM podcast, and I'm super stoked about this. Clark, the founder of this conference, is one of the people I think that cares most about the community from an organizer perspective. He's great. Like I said, I've been a few times in the past. It's a ton of fun. It's at one of those Kalahari resorts. You can bring your family if you have them, or you could just go out and have a good time and play arcade games and go to restaurants and go in the water park, etc. It's a ton of fun. The branding here is so much fun. It's got a camping, outdoorsy theme, so you'll see stuff all over the place with this awesome branding. So anyway, that conference, you got two options to do this. This is in Austin, January 15th. I'll actually be speaking on the 17th. Then it'll be in Wisconsin in the summer in July 24th. So go and check out that conference. That's the name of it at that.us. Now, NDC London is one that has been on my radar for several years. Again, I've heard amazing things about the NDC conferences in general, and I've always wanted to go to the one in London, and I've just never had the chance. I've never gotten accepted to speak there, but it's been on my radar for years, going back to like 2015, I think I heard people talk about it, and I was really jealous. So London is a great place to visit. I actually went 3 times this year in 2022, which is kind of wild to believe, but it was a ton of fun. And NDC London is a well-known, established brand, amazing content, speakers, etc., in a fun city like London. So you can check that out at ndclondon.com. JSWORLD is another JavaScript-focused conference. It's in the name that is really amazing, and it's in Amsterdam. I've never been to this one before, but like the others, I've continued to hear really amazing good things about JSWORLD. It's one that I would love to speak at and attend in the future at some point. Obviously, JavaScript focused, so the other conferences that we talked about so far are not specifically JavaScript focused, although you will see a lot of JavaScript content inside of them. This one is the first one that is specifically JavaScript focused. I think it will be a ton of fun. It's almost around my birthday. My birthday is February 7th, and this is February 8th through the 10th in the Netherlands. It'll be great. So go and check out JSWORLD Amsterdam. Next up is one of the ones that I'm most excited about next year. And it was one of the ones I had the most fun at last year, which is RenderATL. Now, RenderATL has only been around for a few years. Last year was their second iteration, but it's amazing to see how much they've grown and the community that they've built and the branding and awareness that they've built with this conference. It's really top notch. It's incredible. It is one of the most diverse conferences. It's actually the most diverse conference I've ever been to in the heart of Atlanta. So there's tons of culture. There's music, there's food, there's all sorts of things in addition to just the basic tech stuff that you would expect. Last year, I spent a ton of time with some amazing speakers and attendees. A lot of my friends from online I got to meet in person, and it was one of the most fun things I did last year. all together. So RenderATL is coming up at the end of May, beginning of June, from May 31st to June 2nd. So go and check out RenderATL at renderatl.com. All right, another JavaScript focused one. This is JSNation. This will also be in Amsterdam, a hybrid one on June 1st. Another one that I've heard a ton about. You'll see a lot of familiar faces in terms of speakers and that sort of stuff. It's a pretty high profile event. So JSNation would be a ton of fun. I would love to go to this one in Amsterdam as well. But this will be June 1st for the hybrid event in Amsterdam, and then June 5th remote in the summer. So go and check out JSNation at jsnation.com. Next up is React Summit. This is the first one that is framework specific, and I'm a React person, so this is obviously kind of top of mind for me. This is the next day, so June 2nd in person in Amsterdam. And I think these are probably run by the same groups. So there's probably some overlap there where you could do JSNation and then React Summit back to back. But another pretty high profile conference where you'll see a lot of friendly faces that you may recognize from other pieces of content specific to React. So if you're in Europe and you're looking to level up your React skills and be around other React developers and just soak it all in, this would be a great option for you. So check it out at reactsummit.com. All right, another one in the US that I have been to before is KCDC. This is not JavaScript specific. It kind of has its roots in the .NET community, but it's evolved to be very polyglot. So you'll see a lot of JavaScript as well as a bunch of other things as well. So if you want an opportunity to check out a ton of different speakers at a really big conference, it's pretty amazing how big it is even post-COVID. This is a great one to check out. So I've done this one twice in the past. I did it 2 years ago and I did it like 4 or 5 years ago. Had a blast each time. So KCDC is in Kansas City, Kansas, not Missouri. I think that's right. But anyway, you can find out details about KCDC at kcdc.info. All right, this is a really small conference, smaller than most of the ones that you've probably been to. So this is MagnoliaJS, which I went to last year. Amy, my podcast co-host, was there, and a bunch of other friends of mine that were all speakers. There were also speakers, and the conference size was about 50. But the cool thing about this was I didn't have to make decisions about which talks to go to. I didn't have to make decisions about which group to hang out with. It was intimate enough that I could not feel like I was missing out on other things the entire time. So I had a blast at MagnoliaJS. So if you're looking for a much more intimate conference, a little bit smaller, but the ability to kind of take in everything that's there with the people around you on a consistent basis is really incredible. So check out MagnoliaJS at magnoliajs.com. All right, another one of the ones that I had one of the most fun at last year is All Things Open in Raleigh, North Carolina. They've already got the date set for 2023. So this will be in October 15th through the 17th in Raleigh. This was another one that was a really big conference. Stud lineup list of speakers. Attendees were great. The engagements, the activities, all the stuff was super fun. And Raleigh was a lot of fun and really easy to get around the downtown area. So I had a blast at this one. I would love to go back this year or in 2023. I don't know if I'll get invited to or not, but I would love to. So maybe I'll see you there at All Things Open. All right, lastly is another one that's been on my list for years, and I still have yet to go, which makes me a little sad, but it's Jamstack Conf. This is the website for 2022, so last November. I think they just haven't chosen the date and time, so you have to keep an eye out for that. But most likely, I would assume it's in October, November of 2023. And this is put on by Netlify, and it's all about the Jamstack. It's all about modern web development. So anything that you can learn about server deployments and acronyms and methodologies for websites on the front end and the back end, all the things that you could think of for modern web development is going to be covered at Jamstack Conf. Again, a really high quality lineup of speakers and engagements and all sorts of stuff. I'm terribly sad that I haven't been to this one yet, and I hope to make it to it. We'll see if I make it to it this year. But check out Jamstack Conf at jamstack.org/conf. All right, so those are 10 conferences that I've been super, super excited about for this coming year. It doesn't necessarily mean I'll get to make it to all of them. Actually, I'll only be at 2 that I know of so far, which is that conference and then RenderATL. So if you're in the area and available for either one of those, come, hang out, let me know you're coming. If I end up making it to any of the other ones, maybe we'll get to connect there too. But let me know what conferences you are excited about for next year in the comments below. And if there's anything you feel like I missed, make sure to add that down there below. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you're excited for taking advantages of conferences in 2023, and I'll catch you in the next video.